What is up, you guys? It's your boy, man. Today we're talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and what is going on with it, man. Most importantly, everyone wants an update. Everyone wants a, like info and things like that. We haven't gotten basically anything from it. It's just mainly been a Xenoverse 3 show, which is honestly fair at the time, man. But a lot of people think that it's going to be next month, late next month. I personally think that it's going to happen either this week or the next week, right? Probably on a Saturday on the 31st at the very latest. Because so far they've been working on this DLC for a couple months, man. And, it was supposed to be revealed basically soon after Xenoverse 3 beta, the Xenoverse 3, trailer and stuff like that. And all that Xenoverse 3 stuff has came out, man. They basically showed everything they had to show for the beta. So now it's just time to be waiting on Dragon Ball Sparking Neo. So that's gonna come out very, very soon. And a lot of people think that, oh yeah, the extra characters, who is gonna be. I think that all the rest of the extra characters are simply gonna be like Dragon Ball Heroes type of characters, or maybe Fu. We might even get a Xenoverse collab, might even get Toa, Mira and stuff like that. But for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I'm so glad they're going to implement so many changes like the extra sparking, like the extra sparking boosts or powers up your level ×2. That's absolutely great. But are they going to actually make the other characters more useful? Are they going to actually add skills? Are they going to actually try to make the game a little bit better by adding different game modes? Like so many things that they possibly could do with this game. Especially how Xenoverse 3 is looking right now. Xenoverse 3, according to a lot of people, is looking like an RPG. It's not the same Xenoverse, right? So, like, now that we've seen more Xenoverse 3 gameplay, it's not fair to say that Sparking Zero Neo might be our only competitive fighting game hope, basically. Because Xenoverse 3 doesn't look like a competitive fighting game as much as Dragon Ball Sparking Neo. So hopefully they added into new mechanics, maybe one new trait move to each character, try to differentiate each character. But I mean, if they were to go ahead and fix the game and actually implement some more combat stuff, and not just maps, not just characters. Characters are great, maps are great, all that stuff is amazing. The double boost charge thing, double extra power, that's cool, I guess. But it definitely needs to be some type of combat changes into the game as well, because the maps are one thing, right? The maps are one thing that make the game better. The maps are great, but it's mainly the team play. It's mainly like, hey man, let's do me and my partner versus you and your partner. Let's do a tag team. Let's do a 4v4. That will be so interesting, because we basically have a world tournament mode. We basically have other things like that don't really work that well. Like the world tournament mode, it's an absolute great idea on paper, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I able to spectate everyone fighting. There's glitches, someone lags out, and it's just a bad experience. But if they were to go back and finish the world tournament mode for online, everyone will be playing that, dude. Like, you can just make an entire video on you like have a character, right, and then beating everyone inside the tournament mode with that one character, or with the entire roster of Sparking Zero. So many different ways you could play it, but mainly here the things that they've shown us so far is new characters. Amazing, great, no one's complaining about new characters, but majority of those characters are bland. They all have one ki blast, one melee attack, which is very boring, and a kind of cool ultimate. And that's really it. They don't have any like special traits. They don't have your health drains faster with this character. They don't have like, things that make them different. I kind of want all these new characters to definitely be different, especially since we already have, a mass truckload of characters that do kind of play the same, because of like the basic stuff, the basic combos, the basic ki blasts and one melee attack, or two ki blast attacks, one spreads out, the other one's just a blank ki blast attack that just goes straight. what we really need, other than just characters, we kind of need something that differentiates each character. I'm glad they implemented the double sparking. That's cool. That's crazy, you know, great. But for them to only add that and say that it's a big enough change to be considered the second game, because if you guys don't know already, basically when it comes to, I believe, one of the Budokai series, or what's it called? The Budokai series was originally named Sparking Neo, right? And then evolved to another level, and then they updated the game. It was another level, so it was 3 different levels. And right now we are on level 2. I'm pretty sure it was called Sparking Neo, and I believe there's one more level above Neo, back then the Japanese version of the game. Anywho, basically, there's probably one more massive update coming after this, right? That's gonna be named, you know, Dragon Ball Sparking Breaking Limiter or whatever. Burst. I mean, I don't know what the name is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's definitely gonna be something more added to this game on top of this giant up there about to get. But it's just like, you know, has all the characters. I will say that. Gotta give it that. Has all the characters. Has something that we thought that would be much better, which is the custom parallel quest thing. You know, the custom mission mode. But I feel like if they were to add that, but you can play with your friends, it would be on a whole nother level, and people would be playing it a lot more. Imagine if they fixed the custom episode mode, and imagine if they added some type of new technique or some type of new trait to every character that makes them feel different or play different. And on top of the maps and on top of the new characters, you got yourself a game, man. You got yourself a pretty good game, that's for sure. And then what if they even go on to include something like a battle pass, which has basically never been done for all the other Dragon Ball games. This game is actually perfect for it, because people are basically crying for, you know, different color variations or different skins and stuff like that. So we have a tire shop mechanic that is there that could easily be used as something for kind of like a battle pass, or kind of like skins, you know, a weekly update or a new bundle that could drive more people to the game and actually, you know, actually be fun, you know, instead of just fighting. Fighting is absolutely great. They nailed it on the concept of ranked, right? And not necessarily fighting, but ranked. But it's just simply the advantage to disadvantage ratio of just picking Merge Zamasu or just picking Gogeta versus Krillin. It's just too much. It's either you're gonna give the characters who are least picked either more ability or more length. So let's say Krillin does Solar Flare and you're playing Gogeta, right? But Krillin blinds the whole map, so you have to get hit. Like, you have to get hit by this Krillin. That's the edge that Krillin has over you, or that's the edge that Tien has over you. If Tien hits you with Neo Tri-Beam and he uses his entire health bar, you're dead with him, no matter how OP your character is. You know, it should be something like that. Or for example, Majin Buu. Majin Buu has a broken candy beam effect, to where if he hits you with candy beam and you get stuck in the animation, he eats you, and then it's half your health bar. As an OP character, you know, putting in those little adjustments to make characters that are not used to be usable is actually a great thing. And you know what? They don't even have to necessarily do individual buffs. What they probably could do is add classes, add striker, add defense or tank, and add tentacle, and then add, you know, a support type of role. Basically meaning that where the stats are pointed to those 4 classes, and you have an advantage to negative advantage ratio of like what you want to do with that, right? So I think that those things are gonna make Dragon Ball Sparking Neo special. Especially in this day and age where, you know, fighting and, you know, just doing 1v1s, 2v2s are cool. But if we can do that at Xenoverse 2, you know, we do that at Sparking Zero, great, but it's just, I won't say it's a spam fest, but it's just not a big difference. It's not a big enough difference. So I'm hoping that they either add a class system like that or a formula system to where it's support, healer, stuff like that, or they could either buff up the characters no one uses, buff up their abilities, or they can even go of the route of just, I wouldn't say balance, you know what, because balancing is stupid. Balancing, I mean, Gogeta should not be playing, should not be the same as Krillin, right? But it should be some they gotta give us some reason to use Krillin. So the battle pass, like I said, would be cool. You know, you get, the more and more you play that character, the more and more different color variations you get. That will be cool. Really easy to add. Some modder who's in the basement, added that for every single character inside the game. I mean, come on, you know, it's very easy. But again, they can easily go with bundles. Like, for example, with Squadra, you can do special bundles. Get this skin for 20 bucks. I think that would also help the game as well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I will never play Sparking Zero. Bro, if they added 10 more maps, I'm talking about 10 more maps. I'm talking about you're able to team up with your friends and maybe improve the fighting experience a little bit more by buffing at least your characters. Everybody be on this game. Everybody be on this game. Cause you tell me you got color variations. You have Metal Cooler. You have this character. You have Merge Zamasu. You have Beerus. You have Whis. You can have maybe Vados in the future. Champa. You have this character. You have that character. Do you know the crazy potential Sparking Zero has? I mean, if they were to fix, like, again, guys, I'm just listing off a couple things, but like, it's really as simple as this. If they were to fix the custom game mode, custom, the custom battles, and actually add more depth and more talking and more stuff into it, and then they add, team up battles with your friends. You can take on maybe 2 other people. You can take on the missions together. Then they add maybe buffs or nerfs to certain characters to make the game more interesting. Then they add 20 more new maps. Then they add I'm pretty sure they're gonna add 60 more characters in Sparking Nero or something like that. So maybe 60, 80, I don't know, 40. Bro, they're adding a massive amount of new characters to the game. But with those 4 or 5 things I just said, the game can actually be good. It can actually thrive. It can actually be something that everyone would play. Because I'm telling you right now, if they were to add those 4 or 5 things, the battle pass, fix the combat with bad characters, fix the mission mode, add more of that, make sure you play with your friends in the mission mode, add 20 more maps, a battle pass, or add skin bundles at least, not a battle pass. If you want to add skin bundles, you can get new skins every month. Bro, GG. Bro, this would be the best Dragon Ball game of all time. Undisputed. Like, genuinely undisputed. And people would genuinely buy, like, more skins. They just would. If there was 18 skin in a bikini, people would spend 20. People would spend the 20. And if there was, like, crazy rewards to get Z rank, like a diamond skin or, like something like that, people would easily spend the money. Without a doubt. Without a doubt in my mind, they would spend the money. And they would make much more money than whatever they showed us. But again, it could be, bro, if they were to add half of the stuff I just said, it'll be a crazy game. Everyone loves Sparking Zero. Everyone be on it. I don't care if you're perfection. I don't care if you're a hater of the game. Everyone be on it. And yeah, man, that's basically it, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, I also make Xenoverse 3 videos as well. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to, of course, for your boy. And I'm out, bro.